Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Can you hear me okay?
Perfect.
That's good. Thank you. So just to clarify on that, we are TPG's early growth fund here in Israel. TPG usually does on the growth side checks of between 50 million and above. Here in the Israeli market, we are doing slightly earlier stage companies, so we're investing from round B and up, checks that are ranging from 10 to 30 million. And if a bigger check is needed, then we do it in collaboration with TPG Growth, which is our parent company. They're our single LP. So once we invest in someone, we pretty much expose all the TPG resources to the company on a global scale, including the operational capabilities, and the companies are enjoying that as they go and grow. We focus on the growth and go to market. I'm very happy to be here with Pavel and GuardiCore, which is definitely one of the companies that we're most proud of. And let me just jump right into it. Pavel, why did you start GuardiCore?
Sure, thanks. Shay, good to be here. Just a quick word of introduction. Pavel Gurvich, one of the co-founders and the CEO of GuardiCore. About 5 years ago, as many of us do, I left the Israeli Defense Forces, where I served for 12 years. And serving there, I was exposed to understanding just how vulnerable the inside of a corporate network could be beyond the perimeter. And it seemed like an interesting problem to tackle, a hard problem to tackle. So my co-founders and I gathered a team of capable, strong, smart individuals. And we thought it will be hard enough of a problem, interesting enough of a problem, but also a very important one to tackle. We thought it would be fun. And so we started the company about 5 years ago.
So let's jump right into the problem that you saw and how you solved it, and maybe if looking in a broad picture, why does the world need GuardiCore now?
Sure. So I think one of the things we're seeing now, we're actually seeing sort of two phenomena that are contradicting one to the other. The first is businesses that are looking to move faster in their innovation, in their new applications that they deliver to the customer, and the business value they can offer. And that drives them to adopt cloud technology, it drives them to adopt DevOps, it drives them to really move at the pace of an innovation that is increasingly fast and agile and is driven really by the need to compete with very fast organizations like Amazon and Netflix and the others. So that's on one hand. On the other hand, we have the need to provide security and compliance in these environments, which hasn't really changed a lot in the last 20 years or so. Or if anything, it became more strict and more important. So one of the drivers is moving faster. The other is providing security, but the security didn't adapt to the change. It didn't adapt to the new environments. If you look at network security or the traditional firewall vendors, for instance, they still do boxes and virtual appliances. And then you see people clicking on them very, very fast and trying to type as fast as they can, and that just doesn't scale. It doesn't work. And so these are two contradicting movements, and that created the need for somebody to come in with a security solution that can protect the workloads, that can protect the most critical assets an organization has, protect them wherever they are, be that in the cloud, be that in a data center, and do that while keeping the speed of innovation or increasing the speed of innovation. And so essentially, consolidate these two sort of opposing movements.
Interesting. And I know that when people are asking you specifically how you do it, the word microsegmentation is coming up again and again. Could you explain to all of us, when we are thinking, what is microsegmentation, how to think about that, and why is that important, or more important than perimeter protecting?
Sure. So as you said, one of the ways in which we provide that security to the business's critical assets in the cloud or in the data center is through something called microsegmentation. And microsegmentation is really the ability to build very tight segments around the smallest number of workloads and servers you could possibly think about. And that significantly decreases the risk and improves overall security. A different way of looking at it is if you think of a submarine or a ship, it would typically have small segments in the hull, and they are designed to prevent a single leak from drowning the entire ship. And really the idea is to build segmentation within everything that could potentially go wrong. So if a leak happens, a catastrophe doesn't happen, right? So microsegmentation is that, but also microsegmentation is really taking a central, typically physical network security appliance, like a firewall, and implementing it in software, and then putting that software on the workload where the data resides. And that enables the workload to move from on-premise to the cloud, that enables it to move from one cloud to the other, enables that agility, enables that speed, and reduces these choke points that are created by physical appliances that slow everything down, right? So it's better security, but it's faster and more agile.
And just to, when we thought and when we saw GuardiCore in terms of our investment thesis, you have to realize that the future of the world cannot be dependent only on protecting the perimeter, only on firewalls, and dependent only on protecting what's moving on the network. And we realized that the vision that Pavel brought of microsegmentation, of protecting the data asset and the processes attached to it, whether it's on-prem and whether it's on the cloud, and that one can move up and down, is the solution that can actually take more and more market share from the traditional players. So that touch to, that it connects really, really well. So Pavel, who are the customers? Who are the customers that are attracted to your solution that you are finding most traction with?
Yeah, sure. So our key customers are world's largest financial institutions and banks, online companies. There's a lot of them here, but also in the US. Telecos, pharma organizations, healthcare. Really anyone that is running a critical application in the cloud or in a data center is a good candidate for us to talk, because we can streamline their security operation, we can reduce the risk, and we can make things much simpler and faster for them.
Interesting. And maybe let's talk a little bit about the culture in the company. I know that you're very proud of the culture that you've created, and what makes you guys unique at GuardiCore?
Yeah, well, I think it goes back to why we started the company. It was a tough problem, and we took a small group of talented people to tackle it. And the way we started working, and we're happy to be able to preserve it to this day, and I think it became one of our core assets, is this notion of being very transparent and open about everything we do, about our business, about our technology, about our gaps, about what works for us, what doesn't work for us. And this is really a way to use and utilizes everybody's ability to their maximum capacity on one end, and on the other to sort of align everyone around the same languages and around the same goals. And that enables us to achieve more difficult tasks than other with maybe less people and less resources, but they're more focused, more aligned, more combined, and more together. So it's been a big focus for us. I think we're very successful at it. And I think it became a strategic advantage of ours, this transparency and openness that we have.
You all know that we're dreaming to work with people that we love to be with. So from our perspective, Pavel's name goes, is very modest, but goes well ahead of him in terms of his activity in the defense forces here in Israel. And when he got out of his unit and started a company, it was clear that we have to back him, but the culture and what he brings with him is truly unique. And we are big believers in this company, and big believers that he's going to capture a significant market share when you think about the future of protecting your data and most critical assets. So thank you, Pavel.
Thank you, Yuda. It's been a great partnership so far, and I encourage everyone that's looking to fundraise to talk to you guys as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.